Welcome to Living Life, the show that allows you to pursue things that make you happy, curious, and keep you open-minded. This is Living Life on the Empty the Bench Podcast Network. Welcome to Living Life, Sweets, Treats, and Eats on the Empty the Bench Podcast Network. I'm Howie Morgeson. On this episode, it's the Super Bowl party. It's that time of the year when friends and family get together and enjoy their feasts that they put together. So we have a little feast that we have planned to put together for you on this episode. And we have our chili competitor coming in to help us. You remember Vinny, he did the smoked meat episode with us. He's also a bit of a chili connoisseur. So he's going to come in and make his competition style chili. And then I'm going to whip up one of my favorites, which is refrigerator chili. Essentially everything that is left in the refrigerator at that point in time. And we put together what looks like a really great chili. So I hope you join us for that. And then we're going to do a fixins bar. That's all the things that you put on the chili, all the different toppings, what you can put it on, like a baked potato or hot dogs or spaghetti or stuff like that will be on the fixins bar. Then we're going to put together a crudité platter, and that's essentially lots of healthy vegetables, and we'll have some dip that goes along with that. For dessert, we're going to do a couple of things. The grandkids join me, and we're going to make some brownies and some blondies from scratch, and we'll have a lot of fun doing that. And then we have a fruit dessert that we have a special dip that has cream cheese and marshmallow in it. So this is going to be a really good episode, so I hope you can stay with us for it. If you want to check us out on social media, it's at Living Life ETB. And if you want to check us out on YouTube, you can check us out over here and see what we're up to, including back episodes. So now, on with the game. Let's make some food. So we're going to get started with our first dish. And we have a guest that's been with us before, so Vinny Garcia. Hi, Vinny, how are you?
Good morning.
Good.
We're good.
So we're going to do chili, but this is competition chili. Vinny is famous for his smoked meats and stuff, and we did that episode with those baby backs, which were unbelievable. So thank you for that.
That was fun.
So tell us about this competition chili.
This is just a recipe that's developed over the years. Every couple of years, you hear something, have you ever tried chili with a little bit of chocolate in it? It's like, okay, yeah, let's put chocolate in it. How about cinnamon? Oh, yeah, let's put a little cinnamon in it. The big secret ingredient in this chili is, it's not a secret anymore. We put a little bit of tequila. There's a little bit of bourbon in there. We use Jack Daniels. Not a lot. It burns off in the cook anyway. But it's all about the spices. You can go to ShopRite and you can buy a chili mix, but I like Penzeys. I buy my spices online. We're going to go over, what exactly is going into it. A lot of the prep work has already been done just for time, but I think we're going to have a little bit of fun.
All right, cool. So why don't we get started?
All right, so we started. What we have right now, I got about a tablespoon and a half of vegetable oil, heated it up. Throwing in some onions, one medium size to large, depends on how much you like onions. And we're gonna cook this till it gets translucent. Gonna probably take about 5-7 minutes. I do it over a medium heat, because if you do it too fast, you don't wanna burn the onions, because burnt onions kinda suck. So that's it. Our onions are right about where we want them to be. You can see they just start to get a little bit of transparency to them. They're perfect. If you like texture, you don't have to let them go. If you like the real onion crunch, you can take them off a little bit sooner, but we're just going to throw these off, because what we're going to do next is we're going to brown our meat. We got 2 pounds of chopped meat. I have, I'm pretty sure I went with the 80-20. You can do whatever you like. You can do 80-15. I wouldn't go 85-15. I wouldn't go like 90-10. You want a little bit of fat. Fat is flavor. Howie will tell you that anytime he makes anything. So we want a little bit of fat in there. There's just a little bit of liquid in here that I want to get out too, the water from the onions. All right, just gonna go dump that like that. Okay. This is a nice big frying pan. I'm not used to this at home, so I'm going to dump all the meat in at once. There you go. This fancy stove. Fancy stove. Okay. Now this is just breaking up the meat. And we're going to get it till it turns a lovely shade of gray. Going to probably take about 5-10 minutes. So we're going to pause here, and in a couple of minutes you're going to see the way the meat should be. As you can see, we have our chopped meat, a lovely shade of gray. That's perfect, actually. We also transferred it to a pot because we're going to be adding all our other ingredients right now. And there's quite a few. We're going to start with a couple of shots of Tabasco. I like Tabasco. I especially like the smoky Tabasco, the Chipotle. It gives it a nice little flavor. Again, we're doing a 2-alarm chili. We don't want to kill anybody tonight. If I was making this at my house, it would be closer to like a 4 or 5-alarm chili because we like it spicy. We're going to throw the onions back in here and then mix that around a little bit. And then this is where the fun stuff starts. We got an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce going to be going in right now. Any kind of tomato sauce you like, Bowl & Basket, ShopRite blend. We get as much of that out as we can. And this is where I start to have fun. I have a couple of things over the years that I've found that I like to put in there just to enhance the flavor. You know, if you don't want to add any of the next few things, you don't have to. I'll tell you the things that need to go in here. I like jalapenos, or I found these. This is a company called Rotel, hatch chilies and diced tomatoes. So you're going to get the texture of the chili, and then you're going to get a little bit of the hatch chili flavor in there. Very, very nice. I've used them before and really, really like that. I am on a low salt diet, so I went with the Herbox beef bouillon, salt free. You're going to throw 2 of these in here. If you don't have an issue with salt, you can use, a salted bouillon cube. You just, when you're going to eat it later, you might want to use a little bit less salt if to taste. I don't add any salt at all. You'd be surprised at how much salt is in everyday items. Howie knows. Okay, so that's that. We have 2 peppers. I did these at the house yesterday. I like color, so I have red pepper, yellow pepper. If you like green pepper, you can use green pepper. You can use diced jalapenos if you want to throw them in there too for a little bit of spice. Orange peppers. You're going to see how pretty this gets in a couple of seconds. All right. Now comes the fun stuff. Now comes the fun stuff. We have approximately 12 ounces of beer. This is a little bit more because the chef likes to drink while he makes his chili. Dark beer is best. You can use a porter. This is, if you're Irish, you know, it's Guinness Stout. We're just going to throw that in there. The rest is for me. And then we're going to stir that around a little bit. We have a little can of jalapenos, green chilies, mild. I went with mild because, like I said, this is a 2-alarm chili. We're not doing a 3-alarm or a 5-alarm or 10-alarm. We don't want to kill anybody. I forgot my garlic. That's about 3 small little cloves of garlic already pre-chopped. Thank you, ShopRite, for doing that for me. Stir a little more.
That is looking really good, Vinny.
I hope so. I hope so. Because this is the part right now. You don't have to worry about the alcohol that I'm about to throw in here because it's going to burn off. In here, it's hard to see, but we have a shot of tequila and we have a shot of bourbon. We have Jack Daniels and then we have some Don Julio Blanco tequila. You can use any kind. It's basically for flavor. It's just going to give it a little taste that it's like, what is that? I don't know, but it's pretty good. Now this we're going to let sit covered on a simmer. Should go about an hour, and then we'll be back. All right, so this has been sitting for a little bit, simmering. I just brought it up to a boil. I'm trying to get some of the liquid to boil off. I added a can of tomato paste to help thicken it. If you see that it needs it, or if it's too thick, if you need to add a little water, you can add water. You could also add a little more of the beer. This right now looks like it's got a good consistency. From here, we're going to add our spice mix. There's a lot of spices in here, and then we're going to add a second little secret ingredient that I'm going to tell you about right now. So in my spice mix, what I have is about 6 tablespoons chili powder, 4 teaspoons of ground cumin, a little bit of onion powder, some garlic powder, half a teaspoon of salt. Again, I'm on a salt restricted diet, so there might even be a little bit less in there. I like to use white pepper. I didn't have white pepper, so I used a combination of pink and black pepper, some crushed oregano. There's a bay leaf that's supposed to go in here, but I didn't have bay leaves, so there's no bay leaves in this one. Did add a little chopped garlic, and another secret that's not on my recipe that I put in. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. Sorry about that. Cinnamon. Put in about half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and that's just something that people are going to possibly catch, and they're going to say, hey, is there cinnamon in here? And you're going to say, of course not, there's no cinnamon here. Now, we're going to throw that all in here and stir it around a little bit, and then after it sits, and all those flavors are going to melt together, and you're going to have one pretty good chili. Let's just mix that around. Now this is something that I've just started doing very, very recently. There's only been a couple of batches of the chili. Like I said, chili evolves. When you hear something, somebody tells you, or you hear of a chef, or you watch an episode of something on TV and they're making a chili and they add something, it's like, damn, that sounds pretty good. The cinnamon was one. That was Penzi Spices, that their chili mix had cinnamon in it. And it's like, you know what, I'm going to try that. This is another. I have one little chunk of chocolate. It's a nice thick chunk. I was going to do 2. We're going to try 1, see how it goes. I could always add more later, but just drop it in there. It's going to melt, and it's going to give it just a little bit of creaminess and a nice little texture that, again, you're not going to probably be able to tell that it's in there, but it just adds a little something. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to stir this up a little bit, make sure everything blends. I'm going to throw a cover on it and let it simmer for about an hour. And after that, it's done.
So it looks like Vinny made a really good pot of chili, and I can't wait to try it. And now I'm going to do my hand at chili, but I do my own favorite chili, which is called refrigerator chili. And it comes back from years and years of a problem that we've had in this house, which was leftovers. And how could we best utilize leftovers so they don't go bad, which would be just a waste. So what I did is I put together this thing called refrigerator chili, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's all the leftovers that are in the fridge. Take them, chop them up, put them together, get some veggies and a bunch of condiments, and just put it in a big pot and cook it all. And over the years, I have added more and more to it. My kids like it a lot, so I do make it whenever I can. So what I'm going to do for you today is I'm going to make a version of refrigerator chili. Keep in mind that every time you make it, it's different because it depends on the leftovers that you have in the house at the time. Also, in the door of your refrigerator are all these wonderful condiments that you use sometimes, or you bought it for a particular recipe and you have it left there. Now is the time to grab all those condiments and put them in your refrigerator chili. Adds a lot of flavor. It also has a bunch of spices in it, so go to your spice cabinet and pick up all those spices that you don't use on a regular basis, and you will use those as well. So I want you to join me right now as I go to the stove and make a big pot of refrigerator chili. All right, so let's get started. So we have our pot, and I'm going to put some olive oil in the bottom to get started. So since this is refrigerator chili, it has lots of different ingredients in it, and we build it in layers. So we're going to start with veggies. So we have some onions here. Put those in. And we have some celery. There, we'll put that in. And we have some carrots. And so that'll be the first step that we're doing. And we're going to mix them around so they mix with the oil, and we're going to give these a chance to soften up and cook for a while. So we're going to continue to mix and keep an eye on this, and then we'll continue. So as you can see, the peppers are melting or wilting nicely. You can see the veggies are softening. You can see all the spices that we put into this, so it continues to evolve. And the next thing we're going to put is the meat, and this is where you look in the refrigerator, you see what you have. This was a steak that we had on the grill the other night, so we will put that in. We had some sausages on the grill the other night, and we will dump those in. I have leftover grilled chicken, which we had, so we'll put that in. So you can sort of get the picture of how this comes together. A couple of pork chops we had left over. We'll dump those in. And now what we want to do is mix this well to get it incorporated in with all the veggies. Okay, and then what we want to do is season again. So we'll go through, we'll put a little chili powder, little basil, little paprika, some ground pepper. We have some rosemary, some parsley, some garlic powder, and a little bit of salt. And then we want to mix again to make sure it gets all incorporated. Okay, and then the next thing we want to do is get some liquid in here for this to cook. So we have some crushed tomatoes, which we're going to put in. So we'll add those in. There's one. And there is two. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to mix this together, and we're going to give this a chance to blend and cook together, and then we will go to the next phase. So stay with us. This chili is really coming together nicely. So as you can see, this is coming together really nicely. So let's add some more. I have some parboiled potatoes that I cut up and pre-cooked a little bit, so it would help it. So I'm going to mix the potatoes in. And then next is sort of the sauces and condiments section of this. And this is a interesting one that over the years I figured out a number of things that I add. So one of the things I add is salsa. And salsa works very well. So we'll put some of that in. I have some hot sauce. So this is Frank's Red Hot. If you don't have a tolerance for hot sauce, then you shouldn't use it, or you should try it a little bit. So we know, because we've used it around here, so I can put a good bunch in there, and that'll be fine. I'm going to put a little bit of red wine vinegar to sort of offset some of the hot stuff. I have some spicy brown mustard that I'm going to put in. That adds flavor as well. I also have some Dijon mustard that also adds flavor to it as well. And I have some Worcestershire sauce. So we'll put some of that in. And I think that's it as far as the condiments. So whatever condiments you have in the house, in the refrigerator, is fair game for this refrigerator chili. You could also put in barbecue sauce. You also put in one of my favorite ingredients, which is just a little bit of ketchup, because that adds some body as well. Okay. And so we're just going to mix this up. And now you just have to sit and let it cook for at least 45 minutes. So everything sort of blends together and softens up. And then what we'll do is at the end of our party here, we're going to show you this chili and we're going to give you some serving suggestions. So make sure you stay with us. Okay, so we made our two chilies. Vinny made his competition chili, which looks excellent. And I made the refrigerator chili, and that looks really cool as well.
Also looks excellent.
Right? So you have these two chilies, and now the question is, how do you dress them? What do you put on top of them? So I went searching on the internet to see what types of toppings that people are putting on chili. And here's sort of a representative sample of what's out there. There's traditional stuff like sour cream, like cheese, like tomato and red onion. We also have pickled jalapenos. Now, pickled jalapenos are not as hot.
Not as spicy, but it's going to add a little bit. We did a mild chili, so those are going to be really nice. Those are going in mine.
Right. Okay. And then we have salsa, and we have guacamole, and we have the hot sauce. So we have Frank's over here, and then we have the Tabasco over here that Vinny used in his chili. And then maybe what people don't look as traditional, but it depends where you're from. So over here, we have spaghetti, and Vinny's really excited about this one. And so I believe it's the Midwest where it's traditional to serve chili on top of spaghetti. So that's why we have spaghetti over here. Chili cheese fries, very popular in diners and restaurants. So we have French fries.
Grew up going to clubs in the 70s and 80s has had those at 3 in the morning at a local diner, no doubt.
Then you have hot dogs over here. That's another traditional thing where you have chili on, and that's really good. And then over here, we have some potatoes. We have some regular white baked potatoes, and we have some sweet potatoes, and typically you'll cut those in half and you'll dress it with the chili on top. And then some of the fixins on it. So there's all kinds of cool things. We have queso fresco, which is a traditional Mexican cheese that you put with Mexican food. So this goes very well. For those who don't like that, traditionally we have cheddar cheese, which everybody likes. And then we have avocado over here, and we have guacamole. So however you like it, you can pick it up. We have lime because a lot of times in Mexican food, a little shot of lime sort of balances out the spicy. And then we have scallions over here. So a lot of variety.
Absolutely.
You know, for what you want to do. So I can't wait. In a few minutes, we're going to show you how this all comes together and what it looks like. So stay with us. So we just finished that most excellent fixins bar that we were working on. And those are all the toppings that you're going to put on the chili. But now a little healthy thing on the side. So this is called a crudité platter. Crudité is French. So the E with the little accent on the end. And crudité essentially is a raw vegetable platter, like you see here. Any vegetables you want. So where you're located, there might be local or regional vegetables. Those are fine. You don't have to go out and buy expensive vegetables. So you can see some of the variety I have here. I have baby carrots, I have cauliflower, I have some peppers, celery, zucchini, and some baby tomatoes. And this makes a really, really nice platter. You can put on anything you want. You can put avocados on it. You can put broccoli on it. Whatever vegetables you have will be perfect. And then I have two dips over here. And again, this is just an example of what you can use. I have some ranch dressing over here. I have some onion dip over here. Any salad dressing you have would be good. Blue cheese dressing would be good, you know, with the celery and the other stuff, so you might want to use that. Italian dressing, you can use hot sauce if you want to. You really use your imagination. For crudité platters are just really cool things to have. And then you set it out there and it's finger food. So, you know, you pick up the vegetable that you want and you dip it in here and then you enjoy. And that's really good. So you should try a crudité platter. Very easy to put together and a big crowd pleaser for your Super Bowl party. So stay with us. More coming up. Okay, so every football Super Bowl celebration has to have something sweet in it. And I have something sweet with me here. That would be my granddaughter, Melanie. Say hi to everybody, Melanie. Hi. And so what are we going to make today that's really sweet? What are we making?
Brownies.
Brownies. Okay, so should we get started? Okay, so you're going to hold this right here, okay? Yeah. So hold on to that, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the flour. I'm going to put some flour in here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the flour together. And what this does is it sifts the flour, makes it nice and smooth, right? So this is really cool. So do you like baking? Is this fun for you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Tell everybody how much fun you're having. Okay, we got to take a little more flour here, put it in. All right, and then we got to hit it in. And it gets all smooth. See, if you take a look, see inside?
Yeah.
It's nice and smooth. Now we're going to take one of the stars of the show. This is chocolate, right? Do we like chocolate?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to take the chocolate. We're going to put it in. And we're going to knock the chocolate. Can you help me knock the chocolate? Okay, put your hand. Thank you. So we're going to knock all the chocolate in there. Get it all sifted. This also gets anything that may have been in the container of chocolate or flour, because not much today, but in the old days, they used to have things like small rocks and stuff that actually got in the packaging in the factory. So, you know, that sort of got it out. So we have some lumps, but we'll sort of push it in to get it all through, okay? So we got that. So next we have some baking powder and we have some salt that we're going to put in. And now I need your help, okay? Because we're going to take a whisk, which we have over here, okay? And you're going to mix it, okay? So here, go ahead, mix it together. Okay, so Melly and I are going to continue mixing this. And then when we come back, we're going to start on the next step. So stay with us. Say, stay with us, everybody. Okay. All right, so we mix the flour and the cocoa together, right? And I just wanted to show everybody, look at this beautiful apron that you got for the holidays. Isn't that really nice?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that. Okay, so the next part is, you want to help me here? Let's pour the butter in. Okay, so there's the butter. And now we got some oil. You want to help with that? Yeah. Okay, oil goes in there. All right, and now we're going to put some sugar in. Okay, you want to help? There's some of the sugar. And we got a little more of the sugar. You want to help? That goes in.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have a little bit of vanilla.
Yeah.
Got to be a strong man to... And then I need a spoon to grab that, right? So I'm going to grab a little bit of vanilla and put that in. Okay, that's good. And now we're going to give it a mix, okay? You know how to do that, right? Here, I'll bring it over here so you can mix it. Let's mix it around. Hey, look at how it's coming together. All right? So we're going to keep mixing this up. You think there's one more thing we need to add, right? So let's grab the eggs, okay? You see the eggs here? Okay, you want to help me put them in?
Yeah.
Okay, good job. Okay, so should we mix the eggs too? Okay, go ahead. So Melanie and I are going to keep mixing the sugar and the eggs and the vanilla. And then when we come back, we're going to combine it and to make the brownie mix. So stay with us. Okay, so Melanie, we mixed up the two bowls, right? We had the cocoa powder in here and the flour. And in this one, we have the powdered sugar and the eggs and the butter, right? And now, what's this? Chocolate. Do you want to try a piece? Okay, go ahead. Try a piece. Let me know what you think. What do you think?
It's good.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this, which is the sugar, eggs, and butter, and we're going to put it into this one over here, right? Make sure we get it all inside, right? That looks pretty good, doesn't it?
No.
Okay, and then what I'm going to do is we're going to mix these together. Let me get it started, and then I want you to do some, okay? Okay, so can you reach this? Here, put your hand on here. Go ahead, mix it around. Here, I'll help. Ready? Okay. Now, we're going to add the chocolate now, right? Because this is the best part. So, do you want to help? No, here, we'll do it together. You ready? Okay, push it in. Wow, look at all that chocolate. So we're going to mix this up, right? And then the last step we have is putting it into the brownie trays and putting it in the oven. So stay with us. Say, stick around, Melanie. We'll be back. Stick around. Okay, so we made this great. Should we show the people what it looks like? That's the brownie mix that we did, right? It looks great. And now we're going to take this scoop, and we have this brownie pan over here. It's a silicone tray. It's rubbery type. And it's got individual cutouts for the brownies. We sprayed it with a little cooking spray so the stuff would come out easy. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come in here, we're going to grab a scoop, and we're going to put it in there. Okay, let's grab another one. Let's put it in there. Okay, so Melanie and I are going to continue to fill up this brownie tray and put it in the oven. And then we'll see you back when they're out of the oven, and we can show you what they look like. So please stay with us. Say, stay with us, everybody. Okay, so we're continuing on with the sweet side of our Super Bowl celebration. And I have my grandson, Josh. Say hello to everybody, Josh. Say hi.
Hi.
And what are we making?
Blondies.
Blondies, which is a lighter brownie, and it's very yummy, right?
Yes.
So what we have here is some sugar and butter that we put together before, right? So we're going to put this into the bowl like that. Okay, we'll pour those in. Okay. While we're doing that, did everybody check out your new chef's hat?
Yeah.
How cool is that, right? It
looks
says
good.
Josh on it. Looks great, right? So I'll put this over here. And then next we're going to take the eggs. I'm going to put them in. I'll give you your whisk, and then you have at it. Mix it around. Give it a good mix, nice and strong. All right, doing great. All right, so Josh is going to continue to mix this up, and then when we come back, we'll continue on with the recipe. All right, we got the butter and the eggs, and now we're going to work on the dry ingredients. So if you want to hold this, thank you. And this is the flour, right? And so to sift the flour, we just have to hit it like this. You see what happens? It comes out the bottom. And what we're doing is fluffing it up, make sure there's no lumps in it, right? Because nobody likes lumpy brownies or blondies, right?
Yeah.
So we got to make sure we get all of that through here. Almost done. Okay, we got that. And then we have here, that's baking powder, you can put that in. And then you have baking soda, and you can put that in. Okay, and then you want to mix those up. Go ahead, you do that. And then what I'll do is bring back the wet ingredients that we had before, and you're going to keep mixing, and I'm going to put this in with those, okay? You ready? Go ahead, keep mixing. Take your red spoon. Okay, keep mixing. Yeah, good. Don't be afraid. Get in there. See that? Go ahead. You want to do some more? Here, go ahead. You do it. And then we're also going to put in, do you know what this is?
White chocolate.
White chocolate. Excellent. So I'm going to put that in so you can keep mixing that around. And then, you know what we have here?
What's that?
Cranberries.
Yeah.
Dried cranberries. You want to put those in? Good job. Okay, mix it all up. All right, so Josh is going to keep mixing that. And then we come back, we're going to put it in the pan and get it ready to go in the oven so we can make some blondies. So Josh, stay with us.
Stay with us.
Okay, mixing, mixing, mixing. Okay, Josh, we have our blondie mix, and let's show everybody what it looks like. Okay, that's pretty cool, right? It's got the pieces of white chocolate and cranberry in it. And we have our brownie pan here that we sprayed with cooking spray so it wouldn't stick. So I will grab a scoop, and then you want to put it in there. Very nice. Let's grab another one. Ready? Let's put it over here. Excellent. So Josh and I are going to continue to fill up the brownie tray with these great blondies, and then we'll get back to you after they come out of the oven. So stay with us.
They're going to be great.
Tell them to stay with us. Say, stay with us, everybody.
Stay with us, everybody.
Okay, so after all the hard work that Melanie and Josh did, look at what we did over here.
Brownies and blondies.
We had brownies that Melanie made.
And I made the
And
blondies.
Josh made the blondies, and they both look terrific.
And they're good to taste.
Well, they are, but the brownies have chocolate in them, right? We put chocolate and cocoa powder in those. And the blondies have white chocolate and cranberries in it. Pretty cool stuff, huh? Okay, so do you guys want to taste them?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with the blondie. So take a piece of blondie.
But I didn't take.
Okay, here, you take this over here. You got it?
I didn't get
And you
it.
take a blondie. Try it.
Oh, good.
What do you think? Is that good? Okay, so now I'll take that for later, and now let's try the brownie. So here's a brownie piece for you. Take a brownie piece and try it. What do you think?
Good.
You like it?
Good.
So I think we can say that we were successful with our brownies and with our blondies, and I hope you enjoyed watching my grandchildren make them, and we'll continue on with the Super Bowl, so stay with us. Okay, so now we're in the home stretch. So now we're working on another dessert dish, and this is the dip that's going to go with the fruit platter that we'll show you in a couple of minutes. But we start out with 2 blocks of cream cheese, so we have that there, and then we have some marshmallow cream. So there was a whole song written about it because this and peanut butter, I think it was called the Fluffernutter, but there was a whole song that went with it. But we're going to take the marshmallow, it's kind of sticky stuff. We're going to put it in here with the cream cheese. Okay, so once we get it in there, like that. So now we take our hand mixer and we're going to mix the cream cheese and the marshmallow together. And so the instructions say you need to mix it until there's no lumps and it's very smooth. So I'm going to mix it. You can see here a little bit of what it looks like. So then when you get it to a smooth consistency, which I'm just about there, we'll turn this off. And what I'm going to do is take a little bit of orange juice, pour that in, and then I'll just lay this over here. And then you mix the orange juice in, and then what you have to do is put this in the refrigerator for at least an hour so it can chill and come together, and then you can put it out with your fruit platter. So stay with us and we're going to show you what that looks like. Okay, so here is what our dip looks like. We took it out of the mixing bowl, put it in here. Through the magic of video, we had it in the TV in the refrigerator for about an hour or so. And then it's nice and firmed up. And then we have a fruit platter. Again, whatever fruits you have available locally. We have some nice strawberries, some blackberries, some pineapple, and some grapes. To make this even easier to do, you go to the supermarket, they have the fruit already cut up. So all you have to do is you can get the cut up pineapple, the cut up mango, the cut up melon, and then some grapes and some strawberries, and there's really no work to do to put this together. So it's a really easy thing to put together. And then when you're done, all that's left is to enjoy it. So here's a grape, and let's give it a taste. That is really good. So this is the last in our act. So stay tuned because the grand finale is coming up. Okay, so here we are at the grand finale, and look at this table of Super Bowl party food. We made 2 great chilies. We'll get to those in a second, but let's go through the rest of the stuff we have here. We have this wonderful crudité platter that we put together, and we have some onion dip, and we have some ranch dressing for that. Very easy to put together. Then we put together this great fixins bar for the 2 chilies that we have. So we have hot dogs, French fries, spaghetti, which is new to some people for chili, but in the Midwest, it's very popular. We have baked potatoes and sweet potatoes. And then we have all the veggies cut up to put on the chili, the sour cream, the hot sauce, the salsa, it's all there. Then we have the dessert section over here. We have Blondies and Brownies. Those were put together by my 2 grandkids, Josh and Melanie. And then we have this great fruit platter here and this wonderful cream cheese marshmallow dip that we put together to go with it. So, and here are the stars of the show, right? The 2 chilies that we put together.
Ridiculous right now. So this is my spoon. I'm just digging right in here.
So this is what we'd call traditional chili.
Traditional chili.
Right?
Yep.
So it has...
No beans. Told you. If you put beans in your chili, you're not a friend.
So if you're on the competition circuit, chili is just a few things, right? It's meat and sauce and spices. And if you put other stuff in there, they sort of drum you out of the competition.
It depends on your judges.
Right.
You know, it depends on who you have on any given day. You have the traditionalists. It's the same thing with the ribs. You have to cook in competition. You have to cook to what the judges like.
Right.
You know, if you're in Texas and you put beans in your chili, just go home. You know, it's not going to happen. But you know, somewhere else where if it's a vegetarian cook-off, they're going to have beans in their chili. Like, again, you're not going to be a friend of mine if you have a vegetarian chili. Don't invite me over.
Now, I would get thrown out totally with this one.
This is different. I'm really, really looking forward to it because it doesn't look like a traditional chili, but it's chili. It smells like chili. And
so this is the refrigerator chili. It's got sausage and steak and pork chops and chicken and lots of veggies in it. So this is a great way to take leftovers and repurpose them. So should we try them?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I have some scoops over here. You want to grab a couple of those?
Absolutely.
And why don't you try mine, and then I'm going to try yours.
Sausage and get some of that sauce.
All right. And I'm going to grab a little bit of yours here.
That's really good.
Wow. Not too hot.
No.
A lot of flavor to it.
We tamed it. We tamed it. That is just very good.
I couldn't begin to list all the ingredients in it, but if you open my refrigerator and start at the top on the door and work your way down to the bottom, that's the ingredients that are sitting in it.
It's going to be 4 pages on the...
So, and of course you put it together with a suitable beverage of your choice. So it was great cooking with you today.
Cheers.
So I just want to remind everybody, if you want to follow us on social network, it's at Living Life ETB.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
So you can see other episodes and stuff. And we hope to see you on the next Sweets, Treats, and Eats. See ya, everybody. Good job.
Go Giants.